I'm back, guys. This is King of Weebs here, and this is what if Naruto had the Karma Seal. Anyways, we begin this what if with an Otsutsuki who was sent to Earth to see what happened with Kaguya. Kaguya hasn't been reporting in decades, maybe hundreds of years by now. But, of course, they did get kind of suspicious, and so they sent this one Otsutsuki called Ryo. We don't have a name for him. But Ryo was sent down to Earth to see what happened. And he sees that all the humans are still alive. He lands on this one village and sees that it's still rebuilding some of its parts of the village. And so he thought that it must have got attacked. But Ryo doesn't know much about Ryo literally knows nothing about this village. And anyways, I just came to find out I am missing my file for the Jiraiya what if, and I am extremely fucking pissed. If I can't find it, I'll have to drop the series and come back another day and redo it. I think that's my best option because I don't remember anything I did. I recorded it so long ago, 2 weeks ago. That's not fair. Anyways, after this, Ryo was walking around and he saw a few kids bullying another kid. Naruto was 4 at this point, and some reconstructions were still going on. And anyways, now, and Naruto, of course, who was getting bullied and everything, and in the end tried to protect that girl from those bullies, got beaten up just like in the movie Naruto the Last, in the snowy day. However, Naruto then ran off on his own, and actually, instead of going home, he actually bumped into someone. He bumped into Ryo. Ryo at first was like, wait, I'm not using my invisibility or an unintangibility. Yes, Ryo is a prodigy as an Otsutsuki, and if he was sent as a pair, he would be the one to actually not be sacrificed, and he'd be the stronger one out of the 3. Anyways, it's a bit complicated. If you want to understand, you should read the Naruto manga. Even I don't understand it fully yet, and I'm even if I did, I would not be the best person to explain it. Anyways, if you want, you can go watch it on other people's YouTube channels. There is a lot of videos who explain it thoroughly. I have watched one but still don't understand fully, so I'm just going to read the chapter again multiple times until I understand it. That's what I usually do when I don't understand something about Naruto. I used to just go back and read the chapter over and over again. Anyways, or watch the episode. Sorry, I'm rambling. Anyways, Naruto of course asked who he is, and Ryo was perplexed on how he was able to see him, or how he wasn't even unintangible. Something that Ryo didn't notice is that he didn't have his unintangibility activated. He had his invisibility. However, Naruto was able to see through it, and Ryo saw something in Naruto. He saw part of the tentacles, and he was like, interesting, this kid's interesting. And Ryo was acting friendly because he did see Naruto getting bullied and everything, and felt kind of sad for him because of Ryo, first of all, having a pretty good childhood, never really having to go through any of this. And anyways, now once Ryo actually talked to Naruto, he asked Naruto what are his dreams, what are his goals in life, and Naruto just says that he doesn't have many. He just wants to become someone that the village likes and have a lot of people respect him and acknowledge him. Mostly Naruto doesn't get acknowledged much by people, and so that's probably the only goal in his life, to at least get acknowledged by one person at the very least, or at least find someone who truly likes him, like as a person, not even romantically, nothing like that. Naruto just wants someone to understand him. Anyways, the Ryo then actually helped out Naruto for the next few weeks. He completely forgot about his mission and just let it go because he didn't really care at this point. He just felt sad for Naruto, and so he actually helps Naruto out, and Naruto actually grows up being trained under Ryo. Yes, trained, and he grew up under the tutelage of Ryo and under his care mostly. Anyways, Now, Ryo was really happy to see Naruto becoming more grown up and mature, responsible for himself. And yeah, of course, Naruto grew up much better here. Not having ramen every single motherfucking day. Actually, training a lot with Ryo, and Naruto is actually really strong. Ryo was really happy for Naruto. However, now that Naruto was 8, he was actually entering the, you know, academy. One day, Naruto was returning from the academy. He was heading home, and this was on the same day of the Uchiha massacre. Of course, Naruto then saw something. Once he entered his house, it was all messy, and he saw that the window was opened. He could see blood on the floor, and anyways, he followed the traces of blood. There weren't many, but they were on rooftops. And now Naruto finally arrived at near a forest, near the tree line where Ryo was getting stepped on, and had a few red rods impaled in him. Of course, the two Otsutsukis were actually Momoshiki and Kinshiki. They were looking down on Ryo, saying, "You failed your mission. We sent you 4 years ago to gather intel, and instead you do this. We'll return one day, in a few decades, and see what's happening. If something happens, if maybe Kage is under hiding, because right now we have better things to do. The elder sent us here because he was worried about you, and he said that if you were to betray us, we would have to kill you. And I guess it's not too bad. I get to kill you finally. You always took the spotlight, even though I was stronger than you." And Ryo has way more potential than Momoshiki. It's just that Momoshiki has been alive more than him and had more experience and all these things. Anyways, Ryo then sees Naruto being pretty pissed off, and he was about to attack them. However, Ryo just says, just literally does his hand sign, well, not hand sign, just telling him to stop, and looks at Naruto. Of course, the two Otsutskis look back and ask what he's looking at, and he's like, "Nothing, I foresaw someone." And as he says that, the two Otsutskis then kick him in the face, well, mostly Momoshiki, and then he says, "You'll die here and your body will disappear. Since you don't have any vessel, or a vessel to bestow your power upon, this will be your last moment of life. Enjoy it while you can, Ryo. Now, goodbye. Maybe I'll see you in the afterlife if I ever die. But of course, I'm not that stupid like you. I will definitely get a vessel." Foreshadowing to, of course, Boruto becoming the vessel of Momoshiki. Anyway, now we skip a few seconds after they left. Naruto runs to Ryo, trying to, take off the chakra rods. Not chakra rods, but, the red rods made out of chakra of Momoshiki. But he couldn't, and Ryo told him to stop, it'll just make it worse, and told Naruto to give his hand. Ryo didn't have the power to bestow. Ryo was a special one. Ryo was not a full Otsutsuki. He was more like the Sage of Six Paths. His mother actually married a human from a different world. However, that human had powers that none of the Otsutsuki ever had, and that was unintangibility. Invisibility was something that the Otsutsuki have, but it's something that not many people have, not many Otsutskis have. His mother was special, and Ryo was born an exceptional Otsutsuki. However, unfortunately, due to some genetic changes, Ryo wasn't able to bestow his actual Karma Seal. However, he can bestow Karma Seal. However, his one's completely different. He cannot actually come back to life. He's not in that Karma Seal. His powers are in it. He gives someone his powers to basically take over his, this place. However, it doesn't really change anything. He's still dead. He dies and nothing really happens to his body. He can't return. So he's dead for good. However, he wants to bestow all the power to Naruto, for Naruto to master one day. He won't just allow Naruto to use them straight away, because that wouldn't be allowing Naruto to experience life. He'd just be so overpowered. and he can kill anyone. Because Rio really was the strongest being in that planet right now, other than up until Momoshiki and the rest came, or maybe Kaguya still dormant. But anyways, or sealed in the moon. It's not really on the planet, but still. Now, Rio actually, his powers can still grow. They're not just the powers that he grew. Well, imagine having a power and you trained it really hard, and you're 50% through its full potential. You bestow it to someone, that power will always be at the 50% potential. However, but Rio's one can still improve and even evolve in something completely different. Anyways, now Rio says his final goodbyes to Naruto. Naruto actually crying, telling Rio to not go, and that they can heal him, they can do something. Rio says, no, my time is up. Just like my mother and father, they died in front of me, and now I die in front of someone I considered as my younger brother. I guess you truly gave me what I was missing in life. Someone to love, and someone who loved me back. Thank you, Naruto. You really made my life. And as he says that, he disappears in Naruto's arms while Naruto was hugging him. Naruto then actually having a seal on his hand. Still a diamond, or a rhombus. That's the actual terminology, mathematical terminology, or geometrical terminology. If you don't know, you can just search up what a rhombus is. Let me quickly check if I got it right, or maybe I might have just made myself look like a fool. Yes, it's a rhombus, RHOMBUS, if you want to go search it up. Anyways, now, of course, Naruto, who was still crying, it was pretty dark, actually encountered someone. And that someone was Itachi. Itachi actually heading away from the village and about to leave, sees Naruto on the ground crying, slamming his fist over and over and over onto the ground. Itachi sees this and asks what happened, and Naruto looks at Itachi with something completely different. One of his eyes was completely black, the other one was normally white, and the pupil was light blue. While his normal pupil, it was more like a pale blue, so more like white. It's not the actual pure eye. It's actually a dojutsu exclusive to Rio, thanks to his father's abilities. His father's a completely different alien who had alien abilities, which I'm not going to mention, but this eye worked similarly to the Sharingan. It was like the Sharingan of another planet, you could say. However, then Naruto, after looking at Itachi, saw blood on his face and asked, "Are you hurt?" And as he says that, he tries to go up to Itachi's face. Itachi actually bends over and asks, "What happened to you, Naruto?" And Naruto says, "I'm happy you know my name. Not many do." Well, they do, if they're talking about the demon fox that's inside of me. And Itachi's eyes widen and asks, "How does he know?" Naruto then says, "Someone told me." And Itachi's like, "Who?" "Naruto, you can't tell this to anyone. You have to keep it to yourself." And Naruto says, "I know. That person was my caretaker. No one really knew him. He was pretty much someone who wasn't known." Anyways, he smiles while he wipes off the blood of all the Uchiha that Itachi killed, and then asks where all this blood came from. And Itachi then says, "Naruto, what happened? Tell me. Now, this may be dangerous. You might have been in contact with other villages without knowing." And Naruto says, "That person wasn't from this village or from this world. So I wouldn't say I've come in touch with any other person other than people from the leaf." Of course, then Itachi says, "What do you mean not from this world?" And Naruto says, "I think you should run before they catch on to you." And Naruto didn't even know what he was talking about at this point, but he just knew Itachi did something bad. It's a bit of like the Pure Eye's ability, but of course the Pure Eye can feel bad intentions, while Naruto just knew what Itachi did. But anyways, Itachi asked, "What do you mean?" And Naruto says, you did kill a lot of people, right? You're barely injured. Well, you're basically not injured, but you have so much blood on you. What other explanation do you have other than having killed someone? Or having killed people? More than one? Multiple? Itachi Uchiha, I guess you should run. Before the village catches on to you and they come after you. Leave the village. That's my advice. Now, take care. And he smiles and he starts walking away. Naruto is still having that eye. Itachi did notice it and asked one more thing before leaving. Naruto, please don't tell anyone. And Naruto says, this is our secret. And Itachi, not even asking about the eye, says, I'm sorry, Naruto. I wish I could tell you who you are, but I really can't. And Naruto says, it's fine. There's no need to tell me who I am. I am Naruto Uzumaki, the Jinchuriki of the Demon Fox, the Demon Child. Bye. As he says that, Naruto disappears, and Itachi was completely baffled. Naruto just used a completely alien technique to anyone, but it was an alien to Naruto at this point. Naruto just used the technique of Ryo's father. I'm not going to mention their names because making up names is really hard for me. I don't want to like take people's name or other anime characters' names. I'm pretty sure there must be a anime character called Ryo, but it just came to my mind. It was more like Ryuga. At the same time, Leon from Beyblade and Kyoya. I combined the two. I combined the three. The O's from Kyoya and Leon and Ryuga. The Ryuga from Beyblade mostly. Anyways, the names are really sick, not gonna lie. I wonder what happened to Ryuga. There's no way he died. Anyways. Now, Naruto finally returns to his home and feels emptiness. After this, Naruto's unknown eye ability, I'm going to leave the choice to you guys. I would like to know what you guys would want to call it. We can't call it Pure Eye or the Jogan because it's already being used. We can't call it Alien Sharingan because it sounds really bad. So you guys give me a name. Comment down. I'll even make a post, in fact. Anyways, now Naruto goes to bed for then to wake up the next morning. Of course, Naruto woke up at the same time that Ryo would wake him up. However, this time there was no Ryo cooking him breakfast. He had to do it himself. Of course, Ryo taught Naruto how to cook, because if in case Ryo knew that this wasn't gonna last forever, he knew, he could feel it in him that one day the other Tsutsuki will catch on to him and they will come for him. So he wanted to at least allow Naruto to live on his own, or learn or teach Naruto how to live on his own. Remember, I did say Naruto is now independent thanks to Ryo. Anyways, Naruto then heads off to school, and this time he doesn't walk in with a smile saying hello to everyone and everyone ignoring him except for 3 people. Well, more than 3 people, actually. 5 people. He was saying, "Sharp, you damned brat." Not brat, but Sharp, you damn prankster. Shikamaru and Choji say, "Oh, good morning," whatever. And then Shino says, "Oh, good morning, Naruto." However, he doesn't really say it towards Naruto. He just says it to himself. Remember, he's more like an introvert. He really is an introvert. He's not too much of an outrovert. He's not good at basically interacting with too many people. And anyways, of course, Hinata acknowledges Naruto. She says hello, and remember, Hinata still has a crush on him. However, they all see Naruto walk in, and at first, when Sasuke walked in, first of all, they felt a really dark or mood from from Sasuke. But once Naruto walked in, like usually they would see the normal Naruto barging into the room, saying hello to everyone, and just saying this is the first year. Not even Eureka is here. Eureka actually joined in the second year for Naruto, or took over Naruto's class in the second year, because I'm pretty sure it was said in a filler. Yes, Naruto was 9 then. Anyways, no, 9. I got confused anyway. Everyone was completely baffled on why Naruto wouldn't say hello or anything. However, they didn't pay too much attention to it, except for the people who really liked Naruto. Hinata, Shino, even Kiba got worried. And he was the one to actually initiate, asking Naruto, is there anything that happened? You don't seem to be in your normal mood. And Naruto then just smiles. With a broken smile, he just says, nothing. Why? Why would anything happen? And of course, then Kiba says, oh, so you're just too tired to say hello? And Naruto's like, no, I just didn't feel like it tonight. After all, no one really acknowledges me, so there's no really point on me continuing this. I'm sure you still acknowledge me, even if I don't say hello. After all, you've always acknowledged me, and I want to thank you for that. However, you don't have to anymore. There's no point. I tried my best, but there's no point. Everyone hates me. Anyway, teacher's about to come in. I say you should go back to your seat. Naruto used to always act stupid around everyone, of course being the clown of the class. However, he was still really reliable when it comes down to it. But now, Naruto just stops. Even the teacher was completely baffled on why Naruto wasn't pulling any pranks, wasn't trying to be the clown as always. But for the first time in nearly half a year, he finally got a normal, peaceful class done. And he dismissed everyone. Of course, during lunchtime, 3 new people came up to Naruto. Shino saying, Naruto, do you want to have lunch with me? And Shino actually didn't even know what he was doing. He just did it out of, like, worry. He was, like, literally worried for Naruto. Like, what happened to him? Shikamaru and Choji even offered his lunch to Naruto. And Naruto's like, it's fine. And Shikamaru was like, if anything happens, you can just tell us. Anyways, even Kiba comes in. And even Hinata, shyly, she approaches Naruto. And Naruto says, I remember you. Anyways, of course Naruto remembers Hinata because of that day being the day he met Ryo. He remembers that day vividly. Every single second of that day he remembers it. Especially spending that first day with Ryo. And then becoming friends with Ryo. To then having a brotherly relationship. To then losing Ryo. In a heartbreaking moment for Naruto. Naruto then shed a tear. And everyone was confused and they were worried for Naruto. Naruto says no. It's just really emotional that finally someone actually acknowledged me. Anyways, Naruto then says it's fine. And for the rest of the year, he actually concentrates in school. He does his work. And still, he doesn't try making friends anymore. However, there are people who acknowledged him. And that was Naruto's goal, right? However, now that Naruto lost the person that he truly loved the most, Ryo, his older brother, now really had nothing to live for, to be honest. And so, he really didn't want to become a ninja anymore. After the academy first year, he actually thought of giving up. However, he actually thought of it one more time and decided to actually try one last time, right? I mean, he came this far. Might as well just give it another shot, right? If he doesn't like it, he'll just become a normal civilian. There's no really need of him becoming a ninja. He'll just be better for every single one of the person in the village. They'll be less worried if someone like him became a ninja. So what could happen to them? Of course, Naruto's mindset wasn't hateful, but it was just for the greater good. Of course, that's not true. We all know Naruto becoming a ninja saved the whole entire shinobi world. Not only the shinobi world, but the whole entire freaking world. And if Naruto wasn't there in Boruto, we all know, like, everyone would be fucking Zetsus by now, being absorbed by Kaguya. Like, let's be real here. Naruto saved everyone. Like, literally saved everyone. If Naruto wasn't there to Taka no Jutsu Obito would have went through with this plan and won the war. Anyways, we all know that that's facts. And if anyone goes against that, please unsubscribe. Anyways, I do not want you here. I'm being serious. I'm not even in the best of moods. I might sound happy, but I'm having the worst week of my life. It's reminding me all of March 2020. Oh, it's all coming back. I hate my life. Naruto starts the next year of his academy life and really enjoys this year. And there was a new addition to the class. It was actually Tsukome. Tsukome was still born here, and she was actually still sent to spy on the Nine Tails since her grandfather finally died. she actually had a mission for the first time, thanks to Obito. Anyways, yes, this will be a Tacoma ship because I didn't feel like it should be a Hinata ship because Naruto hasn't really been the best of Hinata. I know it wasn't until like Naruto at the age of 16 or something that was truly starting to be kind to Hinata, but Hinata actually lost interest in Naruto because remember Hinata was attracted to Naruto's personality in the original, like his knuckleheadedness, always being there for everyone, like being happy, always having a smile on his face. That's what Hinata was attracted to. But this Naruto has a broken smile. Hinata feels more like a friend to Naruto. That's it. A friend who helps Naruto whenever she can. Nothing else. She doesn't have an interest in Naruto romantically anymore. Anyways, that's what I personally believe. That's why I personally wanted to change the whole entire ship. Otherwise, I wouldn't really see any meaning of the ship here, or I could have just made Naruto single. However, I know a lot of you like ships, and to be honest, I didn't even want to add Tsukome here, but it was just because of me wanting to actually allow a ship to go on as per normal. But anyways, I just didn't feel right to allow Hinata to fall in love with Naruto when Naruto is not the same Naruto that she truly loved. Anyways, you see where I'm coming from. Anyways, if you don't, I'm sorry if you don't. It's just my opinion in how I view Naruto and Hinata's relationship. Hinata like that always smiling ninja, but here Naruto is not always smiling. Naruto is mostly pessimistic here. However, he still smiles, but that smile is broken. A lot of people can see that, and a lot of people are happy about it. Anyways, Naruto spends the whole of the second year, well, not the whole of the second year, the whole first half of the year, just being himself, doing his work, going home, over and over again, doing everything like this, and training at least 5 times a week, still keeping up the same training regimen that Ryo gave him, and every time he kept up, and still it was like every time he kept up, he always reminded him of Ryo and always comforted him, and you could always see Ryo in his dreams, which really comforted him, but at the same time broke him even more. Naruto wasn't letting go of Ryo, and that was hurting Naruto. Naruto always trying to keep onto that one memory of Ryo will hinder Naruto's performance in the great scheme of things. Naruto is not letting go. Literally, Naruto, you need to move on. Like, if you can't move on from someone's death, it's a problem. Like, I lost people in my life, and I had to move on. I couldn't always stay there, always like crying. Like, you have to move on eventually. It hurts at first, but you have to be strong and move on for them. People won't be happy. If I were to die and someone that like Ratreet, if he couldn't move on from my death, well, I'd be sad for him. Like, I wouldn't want him to do that. Same as Ratreet, I'm pretty sure after let's not get into that. Anyways, I'm sure a lot of people know where I'm coming from. I'm not trying to be too philosophical here. Anyways, now Naruto, of course, one day training on his own, and this day truly reminded him of that day. It was the same weather, it was the same time. Naruto was just walking down to the same place where Ryo was killed. There was actually a little grave for Ryo. It was literally a tombstone. No one really understood who it was, but Naruto always protected it. If someone tried to take it off, Naruto will always be there. And one time a Jonin tried to take it off because it was literally in the middle of nowhere, like in front of a tree line. Why is there a tomb there? Naruto actually thought that, and this was on the anniversary of Ryo. It's been a year since Naruto lost Ryo, and Naruto, after seeing this, really couldn't handle it, and so he had a fight with this Jonin. Tsukome actually saw this, and she was wondering why Naruto was protecting a tombstone where no one died according to her research. Like, there was no one who died in this place. Why is there a tombstone right there? Did someone that Naruto know die? Did their pet die? He didn't understand. She didn't understand. No one understood Naruto. Naruto was someone that not even the Hokage could understand. And the Hokage is really wise. He asked Naruto who this person is, or who the tombstone is for. What is it for? And Naruto always avoids the question, saying, "It's none of your business. After all, you people really don't care about me, so I'm only protecting the person who cared about me the most." And anyways, now Naruto always gave vague answers. He didn't really tell anyone who the tombstone was for, because he couldn't. Naruto always had that knowledge about Ryo after getting his powers, his father's powers, his mother's powers, all of them. He understood, and the wisdom, of course, of the wisdom of Ryo. Ryo was really wise. He understood not to tell anyone. If he did, it would just bring more hardships on him, and of course Ryo wouldn't be happy with him. Of course, even in the afterlife, Ryo is always watching after Naruto, always wishing him the best, wishing the best for his younger brother. Anyways, now Naruto, one night he was in front of Ryo's grave, and he couldn't handle it anymore. Naruto was telling Ryo everything, that he can't move on after what happened. He really can't. He's been holding on to the same memories over and over again, and it's breaking him. Even Naruto noticed that, but he just cannot move on. There's something stopping him from moving on, and he doesn't understand what. And that is himself. He himself is stopping himself from moving on, which is hindering himself. You see where I'm going with this. Anyways, now Naruto, after crying quite a bit, even Tsukume saw, and she was like, "What's going on? Why? Why is he crying? Even I wasn't this sad when my grandfather died. I don't understand. Do I have a problem?" Even she was perplexed. Like, was she the one who's wrong? Like, if someone dies, are you meant to, like, be like this? No, you're not. First of all, you're not. You're meant to move on. At one point, you're meant to move on. I mean, you may, like, I was, after losing someone in my family, of course, I was sad for at least a week, but over time, I did move on. Of course, always remembering that person is good, but of course, you have to move on from their deaths. You know, I'm saying the same thing over and over again. I'm sure you guys understand. You're not meant to forget the person that died or something or passed away, but you're meant to remember them in a way where I don't know how to explain it. It's just a strong feeling. You're just meant to remember them. You're not meant to, like, you just let go of it. Remember them, but don't remember them that way. Don't remember their death. Remember their happy times. The time that you spent with them. Remember that time. Don't remember the last moments you spent with that person and then you never seen that person again. Anyways, now Naruto finally had an answer. Naruto saw Ryo. Ryo's spirit never left Naruto. Of course, this was the last time Ryo could ever meet Naruto. If only Ryo was born, or if only Ryo's father was, sorry for the movement, if only Ryo's father was an Otsutsuki, maybe Ryo could have helped Naruto. Maybe this whole thing wouldn't have happened in the first place. But Ryo tells Naruto to never hinder himself again like this and move on. Ryo allows Naruto to, Ryo takes Naruto's shackles off. Naruto's finally freed. He feels lighter. He feels something's been lifted off of him. He feels free. He feels a feeling that he hasn't felt in over a year. That feeling that he had once he still had Ryo. Naruto cried for a bit longer and then stood up and smiled, saying, "Thank you, Ryo." And of course, after this, Naruto was leaving. But Tsukume was still there, still thinking if she had something wrong with herself, and asked Naruto. Tsukume was changed over seeing Naruto being broken inside over and over again. She changed herself, of course not fully, but she started to change. The theme of change started showing itself. Anyways, that was a bit of English there. Now, Tsukome asked what Naruto's doing out this late, and Naruto then says, I could say the same thing about you. And Tsukome is like, well, I don't have anyone to go home to. And of course, Tsukome knows the same thing is for Naruto, and Naruto says, oh well, yeah, I can't say this, I can say the same thing. Anyways, Tsukome then asked why Naruto was crying so much, and Naruto said, well, that was my brother, you can say. But anyways, that's enough. Let's go home. I can drop you off if you want. And Naruto smiles in a way that Tsukome has never seen anyone smile like that before. Not even her grandfather. But anyways, Naruto still had that eye, and she asked about it. Even though Itachi didn't ask about it, she asked about it, and Naruto's like, oh, this is something that even I don't know. But I feel safer with this. I don't know why. I feel a sense of relief, and that is because this eye is OP. Anyways, its abilities are very strong. Anyways, Tsukome, well, Naruto doesn't know anything that Tsukome did, because Tsukome is not doing anything bad. She hasn't done anything bad, and he can't really see what people's intentions are, unlike the Jogan, which I'm pretty sure you can see people's intentions, people's evil intentions. We've seen it in Boruto, but this eye is completely different. This eye can see what people have done, the bad things people have done, not the good things, because you'd already know if someone's good. The eye can tell you what the bad things that someone's done. Anyways, there are other powers which I haven't thought of yet. Of course, this will be developed over time. Anyways, now Naruto, after letting go of Ryo, the next morning he wakes up earlier than usual, and actually begins jogging. Yes, he goes out for a morning jog, and he says hello to everyone that he sees around. People were really scared of Naruto being up this late because of him being the nine toes and everything, and they thought he was crazy. He was just running around like that. Of course, it was just him exercising, but the villagers just take it to an extreme point. Anyways, now Naruto on this run notices Tsukome actually following him, something that he's never really noticed because he was mostly worried, well, mostly into his never letting go of Ryo. Anyways, now Naruto says, Tsukome, you wanna join me? And smiles, and Tsukome is like, huh? Me? Why? Anyways, Naruto and Tsukome actually begin like a bit of training together actually, and they both head off to class late. They got carried away. Even Tsukome started having fun training with Naruto, sparring. However, she just saw this as her getting stronger when she has to capture him, and the more she knows about him, the better it is. So she had an excuse, but in reality, she's still a young child, and she was just having fun with Naruto. Anyways, now everyone saw Naruto and Tsukome walking in class together, and they were confused. Anyways, however, Naruto had a big smile on his face, and this time it wasn't fake. Even Iruka could see it, and Iruka, his eyes became a bit watery and just said, Naruto, Tsukome, you're late. Get out of the class. And Naruto and Tsukome then just walk out. Anyways, now the next few years go pretty much the same. Naruto training really hard every single day, and Tsukome watching Naruto at a distance and sometimes joining him. Not every single time, but sometimes, of course. Anyways, Naruto is now 10. Naruto is now 12, and over this time, he has learned many things. He has learned many of his powers, unintangibility, invisibility, and he's even awakened more of his eye powers. He can teleport. Well, not really. He has his own dimension. Basically, he has Obito's abilities, but in one eye, like together. Remember, his father, like Ryo's father, had it. Also, he can see people's bad deeds, the things that they've done that are really bad. Of course, Naruto is really wise, but this eye is really he can't really use it like on a whim, because it looks really weird if you think about it. Like his full eye going black and then his pupil turning white. It's really scary for some people. They'd think that he is going to do something. Anyways, Naruto always also has all 5 chakra natures thanks to this eye, and he has something that not many people have. He has understanding, full understanding of the chakra natures, so he can use them perfectly already. This is something that doesn't come with the eye, but it's developed with the eye. Once Naruto develops the ability to use all 5 chakra natures, the 5 chakra natures come with the eye, so it's like a deal with it. But anyways, however, once Naruto starts using more and more of the eye and understanding more and more of it, the abilities of the eye, the abilities that the eye gives you, they evolve with you. They evolve with the eye. So the eye itself evolves. So you see where I'm going with this. Not only does Naruto grow, but the eye itself grows, and it can grow infinitely. So there is no stopping this eye. This eye can even go far enough to beat the Rinne Sharingan, to be just as strong, just as capable of the Rinne Sharingan, which we can already see he is. He has Sharingan abilities. He has all 5 chakra natures, and over time he might actually awaken other abilities we don't know yet, and I'm not going to mention them here. Naruto, of course, knows the Shadow Clone Jutsu, actually asking the Hokage to teach him it. The Hokage was happy to see that Naruto finally actually initiating something with him, and the Hokage thought of Naruto, he saw Naruto's change. Over the years, Naruto really never really talked to him anymore, but now he always has a smile, and he's trying to be the best in the village. One day, the day before Naruto's test, the Hokage visited Naruto, and he saw Naruto's house in a perfect state, in a clean state, in a really tidy state. And Naruto made some tea for the Hokage, asking what he needed. And then the Hokage asked Naruto what his dreams and goals were. Then Naruto said, "My dreams and goals? Truly, two really hard questions to answer. I see. So, Naruto, do you think you can answer them?" And Naruto says, "Of course. My dream is to just be myself and be accepted. While my goal, I don't really have one right now. Depending on what I choose to do after passing the exam, after becoming a ninja, then my goal will be decided. Anyways, is that it?" And then the Hokage says, "Anyway, good luck on your exam tomorrow." And they just have tea, and the Hokage then says that he has to do some work and leaves. The Hokage has a smile on his face, a proud smile, but at the same time, a relieved smile. He looks up at the Hokage's stone faces, and he says, "Minato, your son, he's back on the right path, and he's going straight down your path." Well, not literally Minato's path, but the right path, the path to become a perfect shinobi, anyways, or a perfect man. I'd say shinobi, anyways. Now, that's where I'm gonna end off. I hope you all enjoyed the first part. It really took a long while to thought of this. I actually did this what if a long time ago, 4 months ago. No, around October, November time. So around 3-4 months ago. Yeah, around those times. 3-4 months ago, yeah. To do the maths there. It's nearly February. Oh, time goes fast. Anyways, I'm becoming old. Yeah, around October I did this. However, it was much different. Of course, the first storyline was a bit similar. Well, the first time I did this was more like a template for this one, but this is so much better. I really enjoyed making this. I feel like this is going to be the best, or one of the best planned out waves that I've ever done. Anyways, hope you enjoyed it. Please take care, stay safe. This was the King of Weebs here. Don't mind what I said in the middle of the video. I hate my life, to be honest. It's not really my life, it's just the people in my life. Anyways, now, don't forget to subscribe to my best friend, Ratreet. My good mate, Miniman123. To be honest, he's a G. My school friend, and one of my best friends, Hxmesh. Also, follow Shokan on Instagram. He's been my friends for nearly 7 years. Same as Ratreet, my guy. And don't forget to follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Join the Discord server in the link in the description below. And don't forget to go to Lamptey to get your good quality lamps. And you can get cartoon lamps, any lamps you want, Naruto, Dragon Ball, anything you like, you can find there. If you can't, if your likings are really rare, not sure. But anyways, the lamps look really cool. And to get 10% off on your next order, you can use my code Lamptey dash the king of weebs, everything capital, except for the O and F, and the Lamptey with the capital L. You can see in the links in the description below. It just shows there. You can just copy it from there. And don't forget to go to Beautiful Halo using my link in the description below and get your good quality anime merch for 5% off on your next $49 plus order. You can use the code MEME, MEME, and if your order goes over $99 plus, you can use the code MEME, MEME for 10% off. Save that money, and please take care, stay safe. Again, don't go out in this pandemic. It's getting worse in the UK, but I love going out, to be honest. And my darklings, you're dismissed, and peace.